Hello, future engineers. Welcome to our discussion. And our topic this time will be talking about the iterated integrals. So later in this discussion, we'll be discussing kung saan man is the iterated integrals. And then the subtopics for this, we have the double integrals and the triple integrals. Yeah, let's proceed with our discussion. So what is an iterated integral? These are the result of applying integrals to a function of more than one variable. So yun niya, iterated integral is the result when you apply integrals to a function with more than one variable. So what is this variable? Diba in our previous discussions, if you notice that when we try to solve the integrals, like for instance, you have the integral of we have the x squared plus 2x plus 1 dx. As you can see, there's only one variable that is the variable of x. Now, iterated integral happens when there are more than one variable in a differential equation. So, say we'll have an integral of, let's say we have x squared y plus 2xy plus 1 dx. So, this one, we call this the iterated integral. It is because we are applying integrals to this function. So this is a function with more than one variable. So if you remember this one, we denote that with f of x, or is a function of x, or f prime x, because we know that this is a derivative. The other one, since we have two variables for this example, then we can denote that as our f prime xy. So for the first one, here, the resulting function will be the f of x. For this one, the resulting function will be the f of xy. So if you can notice, we have the prime here, and then if you integrate the prime, we will have our original function. Now for this one, for the f prime xy, we can go back to the result will be f of xy. Okay, so what will happen when we have an iterated integral? Let's proceed with our first example. So we have here f prime xy is equal to 2xy. And then we were asked to find the integral of this differential equation with respect to x. So ingon niya, found na to ang integral ni f prime xy with respect ni x. So our is our variable of integration. So that will become the integral of 2xy dx. Now, also may buhaton na to ni what are we gonna do with this one? We have the x and the y. How are we gonna integrate this function or this differential equation? So first thing yun yung buhaton is that you look at the variable of integration. So if you notice, the variable of integration is with respect to x. So what will happen? So if ang variable of integration is with respect to x, what will happen to our y? Our y will be considered as a constant. Okay, so if we have the x, then or if our variable of integration is x, then cy will be considered as as a constant. So si constant man siya, ato lang siya ipagawas. We just factor that out. We will have y as the integral of 2x dx. So by mata-mata, we know that the integral of 2x dx, that is just y times x squared plus c. So the integral of 2xy dx is just equal to x squared y plus c. So yan na siya. If we have an iterated integral, and then if our variable of integration, let's say for this one we have with respect to x, therefore anything that is not variable x, we treat that as our constant. If this one is dy, then we treat the x as a constant. So yan na lang po ang mahitabo. So say we have For example, no, what if we were given as 2xy z dy? What will happen with that? So our variable of integration is with respect to y. Therefore, other variables will be treated as a constant. So x and z will be treated as a constant. So we just factor that out. And then we will have 2y dy. And then the resulting answer we will have xy squared z plus c. And then this will be the general answer for the differential equation. Take note how when writing the final answer, it should be in alphabetical order. You have the x first, and then the y, and then afterwards the z. Okay, okay, let's proceed with our next example. We have the integral of 2xy dx, and to be evaluated from 1 to 2y. So if you notice, no, this came from the previous example, and we know that the integral of 2xy dx is just equal to x squared y. But this time we are going to evaluate this from 1 to 2y. So we have our upper limit 2y and then our lower limit c1. So ang man nato is i-substitute si 2y and c1. Since our variable of integration is with respect to x, therefore our lower and upper limit will be substituted only sa variable x. So si x again, as si y rather, will be considered as a constant. Then we can factor that out. Let's say we have the x squared to be evaluated from 1 to 2y. And then we'll have y times. So we have 2y squared minus 1 squared. So we have y times we have 4y squared minus 1. And to simplify that out, we have 4y cubed minus y. And then this will be the particular answer for this specific problem. So, nga na lang siya nga na lang siya kadali. So, if our variable of integration is with respect to x, so the other variables, for instance, this one here is the y, we treated that as a constant, and then we only integrate all the remaining variable nga x. Afterwards, we only apply the lower and the upper limit sa ato ang result value sa x because this is integrated with respect to x. So from this one, this is partial solution for the derivative or the integral of the f of x, y. So, mo lang yun na siyang buhaton. You just take note with that. If you have iterated integrals, look for the variable of integration. So, kung sa variable of integration, maura to siya i-integrate. And then how about the other variables? Isolate other variables that is not with respect to the variable of integration. So prior to ganiya, we have dx, and then the remaining variable, we have y or z, let's say. So since our variable of integration is with respect to x, therefore other variables should be isolated and be treated as a constant. Afterwards, if we have the lower and upper limit, what will happen? Apply only the lower and upper limit to the variable that is similar or with respect to the variable of integration.